Hello everybody and welcome to a bit of a different video here today on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day, of course. And today, like I said, something a little bit different. Here you see on your screen right now the playoff grid, the round of 16 drivers right there. What I'm going to be doing, as you can probably tell from the title of this video, is predicting the playoffs, or at least my choices of how or who is going to get eliminated and who's going to advance into these rounds and who eventually will win the championship at Phoenix Raceway in November. Of course, we come into the first round here. Darlington, Richmond, and Bristol. There you see the 16 drivers. Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, William Byron, Austin Dillon, Cole Custer, Eric Almirola, Clint Bowyer, Kyle Busch, and Kurt Busch, as well as Matt DiBenedetto, who is in that last spot right there in the round of 16. So, basically, I'm just going to quickly show what I think, or who I think is going to make it into this round of 12 here after the first three races. So there you see the round of 12, at least my prediction, come up on your screen. So basically, the drivers I have getting eliminated in this first round are Matt Benedetto, we got as well as Cole Custer, and our Austin Dillon, as well as William Byron. And so my reason for that, Matt Benedetto obviously just barely squeezed his way into the playoffs in general, into that P16 spot. He's shown signs of speed throughout the season as it has gone on, but I just don't see the consistency there. And I look at the three tracks: Darlington, Richmond, Bristol. And Bristol, I think, is a track you could have a very solid run at, but when we went to Bristol most recently, he actually didn't do that great. So I just look at the three tracks and see where they're going. I don't think his chances are very good. So I just think the consistency won't be there for him to get into that round of 16 unless someone, of course, has some issues and he's able to sneak his way in, but I don't see it happening. So my next one, William Byron, obviously just another driver that hasn't had the consistency this season. I look at Darlington, obviously, when we came back from the whole situation that caused the break, he ran very strong at Darlington, actually, at one point in that race. So I think he'll have speed, but I just once again look at the consistency thing, and he barely snuck his way into the playoffs, and obviously was able to get the win in Daytona for the first time in his career. But I think William Byron will be out. Austin Dillon and Cole Custer, the two easiest ones for me to count out. They shouldn't be in the playoffs, in my opinion. Obviously, the win and you're in thing is the reason they are here. So I'm a firm believer. I love the playoffs. I will get that out of the way right now. I know a lot of people hate the playoffs in NASCAR. I love the playoffs in NASCAR. I will forever support playoffs in NASCAR. But I do not support the whole win and you're in thing into the playoffs. I think if you're in the playoffs and you win a race in the playoffs, you should be locked into the next round, but you shouldn't be 25th in points and click off a victory because of a rain-shortened race at Daytona and be playoff eligible. That's just my opinion. But so Austin Dillon, Cole Custer, like I said, those were the two to win their way in. I don't think they'll be anywhere near the speed they need or the performance they need to make it into the round of 12. So basically, there you see the drivers I have on your screen: Harvick, Hamlin, Keselowski, Logano, Elliott, Truex, Blaney, Bowman, Kurt Busch, Almirola, Bowyer, and Kyle Busch making it. So basically, my prediction at Darlington, though, to win is Kevin Harvick. Very good, there he is. Richmond, I'm going to actually go and say Denny Hamlin. And then we're going to Bristol. I say Chase Elliott wins that race. So Harvick, Hamlin, Elliott are my predictions for the race wins. We'll see how close I am on that. It's going to be, of course, anything can happen. So who knows who will actually win those races. But now we come through into the round of 8 predictions here. So we go Las Vegas, of course, in that round of 12, Talladega, and Charlotte Roval. So a very, very hectic round of the playoffs. I think that could be the wild card, but I think it's going to be kind of the same drivers I expect to make it into that round of 8 still. So Las Vegas, I think, is going to be an incredible chance for Chase Elliott to win, but I actually think that Joey Logano is going to win at Las Vegas and get himself into the next round. I think we go to Talladega, of course. Like I said, who knows what's going to happen at Talladega. I think Brad Keselowski could potentially end all that bad luck he's had all of a sudden at plate tracks, because he's been so fast and so good at restrictor plate racing, and then all of a sudden in the last few years he's just had some terrible luck getting caught up in so many incidents and whatnot. But I think he's going to end that with a win in Talladega there in that round of 12 to put him into this round of 8. And at the Charlotte Roval, so what I had Logano, Keselowski for Vegas, Talladega, Charlotte Roval, very easy pick. Chase Elliott. He just continues to dominate road courses. He's becoming an incredible road course racer, and I think he will continue that with a win at Charlotte unless someone takes him out. That would be the only alternative. I think it will be Logano, Keselowski, Chase Elliott, the 3 winners in this round of 12. So basically, who do I got eliminated? Clint Bowyer, another driver who just isn't consistent enough, doesn't have the performance to make it to that round of 8. I almost put him out into the round of 16. I didn't think he'd make the round of 12, but I decided to squeeze him in. I think he'll pull something off and get into that round of 12, but he will not make it into the round of 8. Same for his teammate of Aric Almirola, who I've forgotten is even like in the series for most of the season. He seems to always qualify on like pole, and then he's able to hold on to the lead, but as soon as he gets in that dirty air, he just kind of disappears for the rest of the race. Then I chose Ryan Blaney. I put between him and Kurt Busch to make it into that round of 8. I had a tough choice between them, and I chose Kurt Busch would be the 3rd driver eliminated. Like I said, I kind of went back and forth between him and Blaney, but Kurt Busch was my ultimate choice. Another driver that I forget is like there most of the season. He's just very quiet and just seems, he's consistent, but I don't think he's going to have the consistency. I think Kurt Busch is a driver that's going to get cleaned out in a crash at Talladega, and then he's going to struggle a lot at the Charlotte Roval, and I think that's going to end him. Alex Bowman is my 4th choice. So, Bowyer, Almirola, Kurt Busch, and Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman got that first win at Auto Club. I'm a huge fan of Alex Bowman. He's definitely in my top 5. I would love to see him get further. But I just don't think things are going to work out for him. Last season, he finished, 2nd at the Charlotte Roval? We know what he's capable of. But I look at the other races like Talladega. He can definitely run well at Talladega. And even Las Vegas, he had a lot of speed. But I just don't think things are going to go his way in this round. Just seeing the way Hendrick Motorsports is. Chase Elliott obviously can lead that team. But I think Bowman is just going to struggle at those 3 tracks of Vegas, Talladega, and the Charlotte Roval, and he's not going to be able to make it. So basically, like I said, Blaney, it was a big debate between him and Kurt Busch, but Blaney gets in. So Kurt Busch, Bowman, Almirola, and Clint Bowyer will all get eliminated and leave Harvick, Hamlin, Keselowski, Logano, Elliott, Truex, Blaney, and Kyle Busch in that round of 8. Yes, I still got Kyle Busch in the round of 8, which is a bit of a surprise maybe to some of you, as considering he's had a very, very rough season so far. But now you see the final 4 I choose, as well as actually the champion, and I'll go over why I chose Denny Hamlin and whatnot, and just the final 4 here in general. So, very surprised maybe you will be to see Kyle Busch I have in the final 4. Basically, I'm choosing Kyle Busch to just light it up in the playoffs. He's had, like I said, a very rough regular season, but I think he's going to turn it around in the playoffs. So I have Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Busch in the final 4, and obviously the other 4 of Keselowski, Logano, Truex, and Blaney getting eliminated. And my reasoning for Chase Elliott being in the final 4, I think Kansas, Texas, Martinsville, all very solid tracks for Chase Elliott, but I think he's going to win his way in with a win in Kansas. That's where I think Chase Elliott's going to pick up the victory. I think Kevin Harvick wins his way in at Texas, and so I have Elliott, Harvick winning their way in, and then Martinsville, very tough. I think Chase Elliott, in reality, could win that one as well, and I'm going to choose Chase Elliott as my Martinsville pick. Of course, I would love to see Jimmy Johnson maybe sneak in a win somewhere in here at Martinsville, but out of the grid there, I think Chase Elliott is going to win at Martinsville as well as Kansas. So it's going to be Elliott, Harvick, Elliott with the wins in that round. So I really do think Chase Elliott is another driver that's going to light it up, and I think Kyle Busch is just, like I said, just going to just light it up himself on points, and he's going to be able to make it into that final 4. So basically, Hamlin and Kyle Busch are my 2 choices to point their way in, and I would choose basically Harvick, Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. as my final 4 based on a points scenario. But I think Chase Elliott is going to get that win in Kansas to keep Martin Truex Jr. actually out of that final 4. That's how I think it's going to go. So basically, I say Truex would have the points to get his way in, but based off of Chase Elliott winning, Truex will actually get eliminated. So that's how I think that's going to go. Keselowski, I look at Kansas last year, struggled so bad. Texas, I don't think he's going to do very well there. And then Martinsville, Keselowski sometimes is able to get up there in the mix, but I don't think things are going to go well for him there. He seems to struggle a bit sometimes as well. So I just think it's going to be a rough round for Brad Keselowski, and he's going to get eliminated, as well as Joey Logano. Obviously, he's won his way into the Final Four before at Martinsville, and he knows how to get around that track well. He knows how to get around Texas fairly well, as well as Kansas. He's got to win at Kansas back in 2016, but just the way the season has been going, Logano just kind of similar to Alex Bowman. He won early in the season, and he seems to be struggling a little bit. Obviously, he was strong in Daytona recently, but I think Logano is going to have another subpar round. I wouldn't say a rough round like Keselowski. I say he'll have a subpar round and just not be able to make it into that Final Four. I already gave my reasoning for Truex. And then Blaney, I just think he's going to choke under the pressure personally. I like Ryan Blaney, but I just think that the pressure is going to get to him in that round, and he's not going to be able to keep up with the rest of the competition. So then we come to the Final Four race, Phoenix Raceway. I think not a good track at all to decide a champion on, but I'm still curious to see how it's going to go. Personally, I like ending the season at Miami. I think it's a really good racetrack. It is really one of the most unique mile-and-a-half tracks on the schedule. I think it's such a great place to decide a champion on. But of course, it's Phoenix this year, and you look at Kevin Harvick immediately as being the favorite. As you can see, though, I have Denny Hamlin chosen to win the championship. I think this is finally Denny Hamlin's year. I think you look back, Denny Hamlin should have won in 2010. He choked it away at Homestead, Miami, and even Phoenix the week before. 2014, Hamlin made the Final Four. He was doing really well. I think he definitely should have gotten up there and won that one. And 2019, he didn't have a great Homestead, Miami race. But then, towards the later stages, he finally seemed to find some speed, and then they put too much grill tape on there. And I think that he didn't really choke that one away because he was never really up there leading the championship much. But I think he definitely choked a good chance away because he definitely had the speed towards the end. But Hamlin won last year at Phoenix Raceway. Harvick's obviously, he knows how to win there as well. So many wins Kevin Harvick has at Phoenix. So it's going to be coming down between, in my opinion, Hamlin, Harvick, and Elliott. You look at Kyle Busch as well. I said he's going to point his way in still. Kyle Busch as well, strong at Phoenix. But I think it's going to be between Hamlin, Harvick, and Elliott for the most part to win the championship. I think Elliott is going to qualify the best of the three drivers, and then he's going to actually finish the worst of the three that I'm talking about between Hamlin and Harvick and Elliott. So I think it's going to come down at the end of the race between Harvick and Hamlin, and I think Hamlin is going to finally be able to defend Kevin Harvick and hold on for his first Cup Series championship. So that's kind of my picks. I think it's going to be one of those just really big duels for a title between Hamlin and Harvick, and I think we could be in for a great race. So that is just kind of my thoughts on how the 2020 playoffs are going to go. I would love to know what you guys think. So obviously my choice to win the race as well at Phoenix is Denny Hamlin. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, let me know, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section on what you think is going to happen here. Do you agree with me? You might not agree about the Kyle Busch part for sure. Probably not about Denny Hamlin winning the championship. As you guys know, Denny Hamlin is my current favorite active driver now that Kyle Larson is gone. But yeah, so that's what I think is going to happen. So thank you all, though, for taking the time out of your day to even watch this video, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good night, everybody.